Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming and coming in to learn about healthy brain and healthy body, various tips to live life healthy and reduce your risk for Alzheimer's at all age. So today I am going to talk about the various things that you can do to reduce your risk for Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. Has everyone heard or know of Alzheimer's disease? Raise their hands. Yeah, it's becoming more and more of an issue. Currently, there are 5.4 million people living with this disease, and this number is expecting to triple by 2050. So 16 million people will have Alzheimer's. That's why it's really important to learn as much as we can and to reduce our risk for developing it, especially since there isn't a cure yet. But I think with all of the intelligence in this room and in this building, we'll be closer to a cure each day. So I'm going to begin, and feel free to ask any questions that you may have. So first we're going to talk about the brain, how it works, how Alzheimer's affects the brain. And then we're going to talk about the body and the sort of body-brain connection and the things you can do to keep both things healthy. And then we're going to talk about you, like overall. So the brain. So Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disease that affects people's memory. If someone were to develop Alzheimer's, they would have a difficult time learning new information, maintaining that information in the brain, and eventually keeping all the memories in their brain. It would become more and more difficult over time. And how Alzheimer's works is we have millions and millions of these neurons, these nerve cells that are in our brain, and they're responsible for everything from breathing to learning new information to jumping up and down. Those neurons help us do all of those things. And in our brains, we create this stuff called amyloid plaque. It's a plaque similar to what builds up in like your arteries. So if you eat badly, you hear people saying, "Oh, I have clogged arteries," and that might increase your risk for developing or having a heart attack or a stroke. Something similar happens in the brain. And in a healthy brain, it gets washed out over time, so the plaque just disappears. But with someone with Alzheimer's disease, that plaque stays in the brain, and it ends up killing the nerve cells and the neurons, which over time, as more nerve cells die off, that's when you start to see people showing memory issues, cognition issues. And where it affects the brain the most, or at first, is the hippocampus, the area deep in the brain that's responsible for learning, maintaining new memories and old memories. So as we get older, our bodies change, things start to hurt more, we can't run all day long and play, and we also, in terms of like learning new information, that also changes. So it takes a little bit longer to learn new things, like how to use a new cell phone, or how to play a video game, or anything. But we're still able to do it. It just takes us longer. And it can become a nuisance, or make people a little annoyed that it takes them longer to learn new information. But we still can do it. And this is just a slide that explains like how learning like more information, like higher learning, going to college, going to get a master's or a PhD. People who tend to have high levels of education, their chances of developing Alzheimer's is lower, and that's what our research is showing. So if you like to learn, I encourage that you continue to go to school, learn more information. Even if you don't want to get a master's, you can go to your local community college and learn how to knit, or learn how to ballroom dance, or anything that you find is fun and exciting. And also playing video games, playing crossword puzzles. How many people have a Wii, a Nintendo Wii, or what's the other ones? Anyone? What are the other game consoles? Xbox? I'm dating myself as I don't know all these things anymore. Last time I had a game center, a game console, it was Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Does anyone remember those? Or the Game Boy? Yeah. But playing those will decrease your risk because it's stimulating the brain. So any type of game, any type of activity like that, like I know the Wii, you can play tennis, or you can bowl, or you can box, and I always get beat. Doing those things will keep you active, and it will decrease your risk for developing Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. Like they did this test with mice, so they had a certain amount of mice just say like dormant, not do anything, and then they had another set of mice that they actually had them more active, and they showed that the mice that were active, their chances of developing Alzheimer's or some form of memory loss or cognition issue was decreased. So with those puzzles, you can also do brain teasers like this one. So I'm going to need your help with this because I've messed it up a couple times. The object of this is to say the color, the color of the word, but not the word. So for example, you want to say green here instead of red. So is everyone ready? Okay. You are awesome! Give yourselves a hand. Okay, here's another one. What do you think this hidden phrase is? I hear three is a crowd. I hear crowd. Stand out of the crowd. In the crowd. Faces in the crowd. Somebody got it right. Congratulations. I've done this presentation a couple times or several times, and it's rare that someone can get the actual answer, so good job. Okay, so this one's tricky. These are countries: Thailand, Argentina, Australia, surname. Awesome! You guys are so smart. Okay, one more. Can someone tell me how many triangles they see? 10. I hear 10. I hear 13. I hear 9. 13. The correct answer is 13. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the overall 10, and then you have these triangles in the middle, 11, 12, and 13. Good job! So doing those things, those little simple things, they stimulate the brain and create more neurons. And with this disease, you want to have as many neurons as you can. You almost want to treat it like a neuron bank. So if you do develop Alzheimer's or some form of dementia, it'll take longer to see the symptoms of it because you have so many more neurons to go through. And just like that, learning a new skill, maybe you want to take up carpentry, or you want to learn how to roller skate, doing things like that helps. Reading something different, like any Harry Potter fans? Yep, reading the Harry Potter series, that's a good way. Volunteering, if you like to volunteer at any place, like you can come volunteer with us at the association. That helps create neurons. Who's left-handed in the room? Okay, and who's right-handed? Today, go home and try brushing your teeth if you're right-handed with your left hand, and if you're left-handed with your right hand. And by doing that, you're going to create new neurons. And even like new places, like maybe taking a road trip to a different area in your town. These are things that you can do to create neurons and reduce your risk for developing Alzheimer's.